That's the position of most people.
What did he say about it?
He said it was a sham state funeral. He said the rituals were meaningless. What you need to know about Reverend Ray Drennan and other Unitarians is that they don't believe in God. They're atheists. Not all of them, but some of them are. So from his perspective,
you're telling me bad news because my son.
oh, well, look at the back of the sign. What does that say?
Not that.
No, but look, you said I'm telling you bad news, and what does that sign say? Church of the Bad News. Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't know why I'm saying.
No, but
my
I'm just
son married
right. Oh,
a
okay.
Californian girl who is from the Unitarian church.
Right. Well, they're not all bigots, but
no,
some of them are.
She quit.
Oh, she quit. Oh, well, a lot of people do. A lot of people quit the Unitarian church.
What is it?
Do you know why she quit?
No.
No. Fine. Ask her why she quit.
I told my son, "Are you going for Christmas at the church or Unitarian?"
Right.
He said, "I told Julie,
right,
since you're from the Unitarian church, I'll take you there.
Right.
And for my mom's sake,
right,
we'll go to the
right.
Catholic church."
Exactly. Do both.
She said, "I'm not going to Unitarian. I'm not going to church."
Okay. She just doesn't want to go to church at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I know I came once just to see what it is.
Right, right.
Because she says she's Unitarian. I don't know anything. Google doesn't says lots of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
what is it?
Well, it used
According to you, short, because I'm going, guess where I'm heading.
Unitarians used to be Christians who denied the Trinity. That's why they're called Unitarians, okay? But over the years, starting in the late...
What are you?
I used to be a member of this church. I got kicked out for complaining about this kind of stuff. I'm actually excommunicated. In fact, they're accusing me of blasphemy. not the church locally, but the big head office is accusing me of blasphemy.
Service, because it was the earliest one.
Right.
I didn't want to go midnight mass.
Right.
You know
I don't know if they even have
heading?
it. You're going to church, I guess. Yeah.
Trinity Anglican.
Very good. Yeah.
Because the choral is Caribbean and the music is beautiful.
Sounds very good. Well, I don't want to delay you from missing that. Have a very good Easter.
Where shall I? You too.
My name's Robin Edgar, if you're asking.
Nina.
Yeah. Nina, nice talking with you.
So, I know that once they were bringing an imam.
Yeah, they do interreligious things at times. In fact, I did a very nice interreligious thing, which this intolerant minister slandered as a cult. You know,
as a what?
A cult. He tried to pretend that an interreligious event that I'd organized, which by definition cannot possibly...
They have many people?
Not really. They have fewer than they used to have around... When I was a member, they had around 300 total membership. Not everyone would attend, but they had now maybe 200, and that's in terms of total membership.
Because it was expensive to buy the lots. And
well, they have money, yes. Unitarians do have, you know, their church was burned down by the organist. They had insurance money from that.
Okay, they bought because this one was an SO.
Yeah, but you know, they did have financial difficulty. It wasn't easy, you know. I think they have a.
Are you still Christian?
I'm not. I never was a Christian per se. I was basically a Unitarian. I believe in Jesus as a prophet, but not
in Jesus as a good man.
Right.
But he does not believe in God or anything else. He says Jesus really existed, I hope.
Yeah.
And he was a humanist. My son is a humanist.
Yes. I think Jesus was a humanist. He was a God, a religious humanist, but he was a humanist. He cared about people, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, anyone who cares for the welfare of human beings is a humanist, in my view, whether they believe in God or not. Humanist can be a euphemism for atheist. A lot of atheists call themselves humanists.
Yeah, my son too.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just a soft way of saying atheist. But in the real sense of the word, anyone who cares about the welfare...
Who does not take advantage of another human being.
Yeah.
For me, the motto is, do not take advantage of another human being.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a
okay, well, again, I don't want to delay you from...
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
If you believe in Easter...
I have my own way of believing. I believe Jesus was real. I believe he was crucified.
Yes.
You know, and so on. I could be wrong. It's not impossible.
Okay, what
but that's what I believe.
I believe in this too.
Right. As far as
Pope and Vatican and all.
Oh, exactly. There's all kinds of beliefs that have been added on. You know, so it's hard to tell what the real absolute truth is. You know, but I believe he was a prophet. I believe he delivered a message from God.
Okay.
You know, I
so
believe
you believe in God. You're not.
Oh, I know. Actually, I can say I know God exists because of certain experiences that convince me with actual, like strange coincidences, like really weird.
Strange coincidences.
Yeah. You know, like the coincidence is like it's so precise.
I was at my parish church,
Right.
St. Leon Catholic.
Right.
I went in, said a prayer. I said, no, I'm going to go to the Anglican ward, beautiful music.
Right.
So I've been walking since Clark.
Yeah. Well, you have a nice little break.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what? It's nice.
It is. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah.
And it's nice to be positive.
Yeah. I'm actually super positive about being accused of blasphemy by Unitarians. That's
It's okay.
a unique honor and privilege.
It's okay. You know what they say? What is it that they say? Words do not hurt.
Sorry?
Let words
Well, actually,
do not hurt.
words can be very harmful, but.
Did you lose anything? Did you suffer from things because
Yes.
of what they said?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Don't let them.
No, but sometimes you can't help it. Well, that was quite an interesting little conversation. I'm glad to see that it was fully recorded. I have been having technical problems with my camera recently where it shuts off by itself, you know, even seconds after being started. Like it'll run for 20 seconds or you know, a minute or two and then suddenly stops. So, I mean, I knew it was running because I was checking it every now and then before the woman arrived, so I knew it was running when she arrived. But, you know, when I'm in the middle of a conversation, I'm not checking the camera to see if it's working. But, you know, when it was over and done with, I checked and, well, lo and behold, the camera recorded the whole conversation. And I think that's actually a very interesting conversation. I think it you know, the woman brought up how her daughter-in-law, you know, is an ex-Unitarian. And again, the reasons for that, you know, she brought up about how her son is an atheist and a humanist. And yeah, so she basically, this woman knows a little bit at least about the Unitarian Church. There's something she clearly didn't know, which I explained to her. Basically the fact that Unitarians started off as Christians that denied the doctrine of Trinity, basically as Jehovah's Witnesses do today. But over the years, starting in the 19th century, late 19th century, or possibly even earlier, you know, more and more of them, you know, were atheists, and you know, even the clergy. You know, basically, I'm pretty sure, I could be mistaken, but I believe that even in the late 1800s, certainly in the early 1900s, early 20th century, the Unitarian Church began ordaining, you know, people who were identified as atheists, you know, as clergy, and you know, over the early to mid 20th century, you know, the atheist membership grew, the theist membership diminished, to the point where, regardless of what the actual percentages were, the atheist faction had a high level of control over the Unitarian Church, you know, and essentially dominated the so-called Unitarian Church. Of course, I don't mean just here in Montreal. I'm talking about the larger Unitarian Universalist religious community. So it is one of the funniest things was, you know, my picket sign that I was talking about, Church of the Image Tarnishing Minister, on one side, on the back of it, it says Church of the Bad News. And it's quite funny. That, of course, refers to the fact that there's been a certain amount of bad press about not only the Unitarian Church in Montreal, but the Unitarian Universalist, you know, so-called religious community. Good day.
Happy Easter.
Oh, I'm having a very happy Easter.
Beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. Yeah, I'd say so. So anyway, so I'm telling this woman, you know, what my protest is about, and she pops up saying, "Oh, you're telling me bad news." I say, "Oh, well, look at the back of the picket sign," because the back of the picket sign says Church of the Bad News. So she basically validated my picket sign. Not that a good number of newspaper articles about my protest and about other issues, that's what the sign was inspired by. In fact, it was specifically originally, the Church of the Bad News on the back of Church of the Image Tarnishing Minister was inspired by Reverend Ray Drennan's attack on the Roman Catholic Church.
Happy Easter.
I'm having a wonderful Easter, yeah. So, getting a nice happy Easter from a passerby who apparently is not attending the Unitarian Church in Montreal. Big smile. So she saw my picket sign. The one that she saw was Church of the Image Tarnishing Minister, and on my right hand, Unitarian prejudice and bigotry sucks. A little grammatical error in there, but basically, I think people understand what I'm saying when I say Unitarian prejudice and bigotry sucks. I mean, there's just one S too many. Should say suck instead of sucks, but good day, sir. Again, got another sort of affirmative nod from the gentleman walking by. The public response to my protest is generally very positive. There are some negative reactions from the non-Unitarian public, but they are in the distinct minority. I would say that on average, if you spread it out over the whole time I've been protesting, at least 8 out of 10 responses from the public are supportive and affirmative, and at most 2 are not. But it's actually closer to 9 out of 10. I'd say all things considered, it's 9 out of 10. But I don't mind saying it's 8 out of 10. It's 80%. 80% of the public, non-Unitarian public who see my protest, when they do respond positively to what I'm doing. And that's pretty well it for the first half hour of the video. Got a few seconds left here, and it is Sunday 2016, the 27th of March 2016 at the Unitarian Church of Montreal, and I'm resurrecting some old picket signs here.